Remember we talked about rational numbers are positive and negative fractions and decimals. So what we're covering is basically multiplying positive fractions, multiplying negative fractions, and then positive and negative decimals as well. So we're going to hit it in two sections. Section 1, we'll do decimals first. I think it's the easier of the two because you literally just multiply. You multiply like you would with a decimal. The only thing left to do is make sure you assign the right sign. So, multiply like normal. And then the last thing, I'm assuming you know where to put the decimal, so we're skipping that as a step. The last step is to assign a sign. Assign a sign. Assign a sign. If it helps to think same sign is positive, different sign is negative, you can think about it that way. You can also do the tic-tac-toe to help you remember, where you've got this thing, and then you fill in your negatives. Where a positive times a negative is a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. That's one way. Same signs. So like here, if it's the same sign, your answer is positive. Same sign equals a positive answer. A different sign, like if it's a positive and a negative, it's a negative answer. Whichever way helps you remember, stick with that way. I assume that you already have a way that you help remember because you've been doing it for a year now. All right, next half, fractions. Same thing. I wish that you could multiply mixed numbers and it would work, but it doesn't. So you have to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. No mixed numbers. And you may want to add that all whole numbers, so like if you had times 5, it's 5 over 1. So whole numbers have 1 as a denominator. Setting it up is half the battle. The next step is just to do numerator times numerator. Top times top. And bottom times bottom. And just like with decimals, the last thing you should do, assign a sign. Same thing. So with this, if I had 2.5 -3, this is not 2.5 times, or this is not 2.5 minus 3. This is multiply. If it was minus, this minus sign would be outside the parentheses. So this is 2.5 times -3. First thing I need to do is what? Make this an improper fraction. So 2 times 2 plus 1. So I've got 5 over 2. And then this 3 is over what?
1.
Good. And then top times top. So I've got 5 times -3. Or 5 times 3. 15. 2 times 1. And then I can't leave it like this. There's an unspoken rule I didn't write down. Simplify, reduce, make your answer look nice. So how many times can 2 go into 15? 7. And there'd be how much left over? Oh, can't see. 1. So 7 and 1. Good. Now, assign a sign. Is it a positive 7.5 or negative 7.5? It is a negative 7.5. Because it was a positive times a negative.